Hi everybody, Ashwini here from Tashi Threads.
Hello everybody, I am Smita from Tashi Threads. Welcome to our new series of It Is Possible. So as you all know, we started the series It Is Possible to mark the International Women's Day on the 8th of March. And we have seen a couple of interesting women previous days. Here we are back with another good friend, a very vibrant, charming, ever smiling individual, none other than RJ Shruthi. Shruthi is not just an RJ, she's a very good dancer, she's a podcaster, she's a dreamer, and I'm sure there are many more. We'll come to know of those in our conversation. So Shruthi, before we come to the questions that we have for you,
We welcome you to this episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure interacting with you guys. And I think our association started off way back.
Way back.
And
We
we've
are
had a
good
very
friends and-
and we've had a very solid relationship. So here's to many more years, and wishing you guys a very happy Women's Day.
Thank you so
Thank
much, and
you.
same to you.
Same
Thank
to
you.
you. So we'd like you to say a little about you before we move on.
Alright, so like you rightly said, I'm a dreamer first and foremost, because when I started off, I never thought I'm actually an MBA graduate. When I say this to people, they're like, you're an engineer, you're an MBA, and what are you doing here? But I think I always knew that this is where I wanted to be. I love the spotlight even since I was a child. I love the stage, I love to dance, I love to meet people. And that's how I think this journey sort of began for me. And I don't think I would change anything about it. Of course, I enjoyed, studying at that point, doing the whole 90s kid vibe of, studying engineering and then doing a master's. But media found me, and that's how I got into this. And I thoroughly enjoy every single conversation that I have with people. And I think that's what makes life so interesting for me. So as a dancer, as an RJ, as a podcaster, something that I started doing during the pandemic, I've been able to explore so many different angles to myself and to the world. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
It's a lot actually,
Yeah, that's a
right?
lot.
Yeah, to comprehend, yeah.
So I guess, like you said, you are actually doing a lot of things that you dreamt of.
Yes, very, very true. Yeah,
So-
I never thought, like, I remember, like, the first time when I came into a radio station way back in 2017, I didn't have any background, I didn't have any training, I didn't study to become an RJ or anything like that.
Okay.
But I remember when I sat and I did my first link, I thought about the times as a child. When I was in a car, I was trying to mimic the RJ who was, talking then and trying to tease a song and stuff like that. And then to have that dream realized was very, very special for me.
Great. That's really, really, really interesting to know actually.
Quite
That you didn't
interesting.
have a formal education to
I
become an
didn't.
RJ here.
Yeah.
Great.
So you must have done a lot of shows from 2017, right? So I will, let me ask you,
Starting with the first
yeah,
question.
starting with the first question. So it'll be very, I don't want to ask you who's your favorite RJ.
Okay.
Probably we'll move to TV.
Okay.
So what's your most favorite TV show?
See, TV show, I think it's very difficult to put it into a bracket because, of course, with the pandemic, the number of shows that we've all watched is just insane. But specific to keeping it in South India, I think there is not another presenter like Divyadashini.
Okay.
Didi is
We all
a
know Didi.
fireball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the presence that she has is something that is truly unmatched. I love the way she presents, I love the way she carries herself. I like how she makes the guest, whoever it is, irrespective of whoever it is, how she makes that guest feel so comfortable. And similarly, Archana Chandok. She is an inspiration. I've worked with her, I've had the pleasure of working with her, and something that I learned from her is even the moment a camera turns on you, right, you are the star of that show. You are presenting so many other people. If your energy doesn't shine through, then it's not going to reflect. So that is something that I learned from her, and she's a huge star. I look up to her, I admire her, and I think she's a fantastic woman.
Can't agree more. Both the
Yes.
names you mentioned are
Our favorites as well.
favorites as well, and equally vibrant as
Right,
just
right.
the way you are.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question for you. So we all know that you love dancing, but
Yes.
we'd like to know why. Like,
Okay.
what makes you love dancing so much?
Right. So actually, there is a backstory to this. I think my mum just put me in dance class, as with every child, to
So
keep
you're
them
a classical
occupied.
dancer.
Yes, I actually, I think I formally trained for about 20 years. Like,
Wow.
I started dancing when
Wow.
I was 4 years old.
Okay.
So my mom put me in class, and very honestly, I used to come back crying because my teacher was a little strict when I started off, and I'd be like, no, ma, I don't want to go back to class. I don't want to. My mother said, no, try it out. You can't keep saying no immediately. Just go for it. And I'm very thankful that my mom pushed me,
Did that,
because if
right.
she did not, I would not have realized how much I love it. And of course, I started, deviating and doing a lot of other things and not just classical dance. But having that base sort of taught me it's not just about art. I've always said this to anybody: art teaches you life. It is not about, knowing 10 different varnams or 10 different kirtanams or anything of that sort. It teaches you discipline, it teaches you teamwork, it teaches you stage presence, it teaches you life. It teaches you so many things. Waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning for a rehearsal, I would do. If you ask me to wake up and study, I probably may not.
Probably won't.
But that sort of passion, right, that commitment, that dedication is something that the arts taught me. And I think it also made me, because I was a very chubby child. I mean, I've always embraced who I am as a person. But as a child, I think, despite me being on the bigger side, dance gave me that ability to express myself. Like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter how I looked when I was on stage, because I enjoyed dancing. And I think that's the happiness that has sort of carried through, through the years. And even today, whether I'm in a studio, whether I'm outside, whether I'm in my car, the moment a song comes on, I know that I could dance. Yeah, I can. And the dance floor has seen all my emotions. Anger, jealousy, rage, tears. Anything I know, I can express it through my dance. And that's why it's so special.
But frankly, looking at the way you dance, it doesn't even give us a hint that there was a point you even
Yeah.
didn't want to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't show at all. The hatred doesn't show in your dance at
So
all.
being a mother, I feel that there are certain times that you need to push your children for
Absolutely, yes.
them to realize.
On record, I'm saying this. I know usually my mom and I have a very Tom and Jerry relationship, but if not for my mom, I don't think I would have become who I am. So I owe it all to her.
Probably, yeah, that takes me to the next question we have for you. Though your work looks like a lot of fun, I'm sure it is, but I'm also sure there are a lot of maybe difficulties, or you would have faced some difficult situation at any point of time in your career.
Right.
So is there something that you want to talk about and how you've overcome the difficult situation?
See, to be very honest, every day is a challenge, because you don't come in to a studio and think that, okay, chalta hai, I can do a mediocre job. That is something that I feel I have, like they say, right, it might seem very heavy, it might seem like, oh, romba pesranga, but it's not that. It's the sort of energy that you want to give to your listener, right? There have been days when I've cried, I've had fights, I've come in with like the most bad moods, but I've still put on that headphone and said, hi, hello, vanakkam, namaskar, and kickstarted my show like nothing happened, right? So that is something that is a challenge that we face every day, and there are no off days, there are no sick days, there are no...
You can't
you can't afford to do that. So if anybody who asks me what is one con of your job, I would say, if you don't want like a 24/7 thing, then maybe you need to be in a creative field like this. But I mean, everything has its ups and downs, right? So it's just about how you maneuver that. It is, we have bad days, but at the end of the day, you have an amazing setup like this. You have the ability to be able to change somebody else's mood through what you're saying.
Very true, yeah.
The power of your words has
I
a huge
totally
impact.
agree.
Yeah. So I think that's what.
So now that you are an RJ and we know you're so passionate about your job, if not an RJ, what would you have been?
Actually, this is a very tough question. I've thought about this multiple
Like a
times.
serious profession.
No, I've thought about this multiple times. I most probably, see, I did want to be a teacher at one point. I love English. It's one of my favorite subjects, and I'm always with a book and things like that. I would have wanted to be a teacher, but I think they have these certain restrictions when it comes to like writing certain exams and all of that, and I wasn't qualified. I did try. I went and took their application form and all, but apparently I
Your
didn't
students
have.
would have loved you for sure.
I wish.
Yeah, Hannah.
My English
You'd have
teacher.
been the most favorite teacher for a lot of
Yes,
children.
thank you so much for that. But yeah, my English teacher actually inspired me to, if I ever had like an alternate career types, I would have wanted to be an English teacher. Yeah.
So
Okay.
we've seen a couple of different RJ Shruthis in the last 10 minutes. So if I give you just about 5 words to describe yourself, so what would those 5 words be?
I'm passionate. I have a very high sense of integrity. So I think that is something that is very special about myself. I'm a dreamer. I am a smart worker. I won't say I'm a hard worker. I'll say I'm a smart worker.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a smart worker, and I always put people on. The people around me are very, very important to me. So if you're in my inner circle, that means that I will do anything for you. So I love a lot. I love a lot. So I think I know those are not 5 words, but I think those 5 things could sort of
Value.
describe
These are
Yeah.
probably the 5
My
things that
top
you
5.
value the most.
Yes.
Glad to know.
Thanks.
So our last and probably our favorite
Yeah, favorite question.
What's your take on a sari? And I know you
And
dress.
we love the fact that you are in a sari yourself today.
Thank you. I think sari is comfort. Sari is home. It gives you a feeling of being wrapped up in love. That's what it is. It's 6 yards of love to me.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So before we end the show,
Yes. This is a small, token of love from our side because you love saris so much and because we love saris as well.
Oh,
So
thank
we
you
like
guys.
this. Yeah, have
Thank
a
you
look at
guys
it
so
and,
much. In fact, the one that I'm wearing is also
I
from
know,
you guys.
guys.
I know,
very
yeah.
thoughtful
Even
of
this,
you.
yeah.
Thrilled to look
Yeah.
at you. And
You
before
can have
we
a look at
sign
the
off, we'd like you to introduce yourself, like how you do
On my show?
on your show.
Okay, alright. Okay. Hi, hello, vanakkam, namaskar. This is me, RJ Shruthi. The show you're tuned into is Happy Hours, and this is a Fever 91.9 FM in the Bollywood Superstar.
Oh, that's too good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And it was lovely catching up with you.
My pleasure as
I'm
always.
sure our audience, our followers would have enjoyed this session as much as
delighted
we did.
as
Yes.
we are.
Thank you. It really
Thank you.
means a lot.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, folks, for watching this session, and I'm sure you've liked this as much as we did. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Shruti.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti.